Good morning. Welcome to the More Factor. Today we're going to talk about being equitable. I'm Frederick Groth and I enjoy coaching and helping people to become the best that they can be by teaching life skills and success principles. So today we're going to talk about being equitable. Sort of an old word. We hear a lot about it in today's society, but it's never used correctly. And typically we hear the term equal rights. Equal rights. Let me read to you the meaning of the word equitable as a character trait. It means being equal in regard to the rights of others, distributing equal justice, giving each his due, and being just and impartial according to God's law. So we have here a foundation for a great national way of looking at things and personal way of looking at things. See, a lot of times when we're in a group, someone that has a little prestige or money or some community authority tends to get preeminence, and people gather around and try to talk to them. That's great and wonderful to get some information from those that have accomplished something. But we should not treat anyone any different if they've got $1 million or they're a pauper on the side of the road. Equity dictates to us as a character that we learn to love them equally, that we learn to treat them with respect equally, that if they call for help, that we will jump to help them equally, that if they do something that deserves justice, that they will be treated equally. Regardless of their status, regardless of their financial holdings, it should not matter. Justice and equity should come regardless of reputation or status. Yes, I believe that we should be treated innocent until proven guilty. So often in people's lives, we treat people differently because of how we view them, our perception. See, the problem here with equity, or the lack of it in our society, is people's perception. Perception is the thing that filters out your information. That's it, your information. I want you to get that this morning. It's your information. It's not necessarily the truth. It's not necessarily the full picture. It's not necessarily the whole scenario. It's just your filter based on the little bit of information you've been given, and so you form an opinion, you form an idea based on the limited perception that you have. Let me remind you of the quote from Bruce Lee that we quoted a few weeks ago, or a few days ago. The usefulness of a cup is its emptiness. See, we've got to empty ourselves of our perceptions, of our opinions and our ideas, because they're based on limited bits of information. Rarely do we make a choice based on the whole picture. That is what a judge is supposed to try to do. Get the whole picture. Not just a part of it, but a whole. They get this side story, they get this side story. They get the police's side of the story. They get the evidence's side of the story. And they try to make a sound judgment based on all sides that are present to testify. Rarely do we get all sides of the coin. And so our perception hinders our ability to be equitable. So empty out your perceived ideas, your perceptions, what you think is going on, and start asking questions and treating people with due respect and due love in all situations. I know it sounds great and grandiose and all these things, and it's a lot easier said than done, because we do get inundated daily with perceptions and ideas and opinions. It's just an opinion, it can change. So leave the slate clean until you get the whole picture. Treat others with respect. For example, as I close, I try to treat everyone with the same respect. I'm not always successful. I don't always do it. And if I've ever treated anyone that watches this and you felt that I wasn't treating you with respect, I do apologize. But I do try to treat everyone with respect. And I noticed recently, we've gotten some animals. I've made note of this a couple times the past few days. We've gotten some animals to fill up our freezer with this fall. And I noticed that as they're getting bigger, the pen that I had made for them seemed small. They didn't have the room to run and do the things that they like to do. And so I went to work and expanded it more than double than what they had before. And within 5 minutes, their attitudes changed. You could see it. They were happier. They were excited to be able to run and go and do. See, respecting all things, I realize that they're going to be in my freezer this fall. But I still respect the fact that they're not in my freezer right now, and they have needs and they have wants and desires. When we treat stuff with respect, we get back in return. It doesn't matter if it's a human or an animal. Treat it with respect. Treat our environment with respect. Be equitable. I don't have time to get into all the things, littering and everything else. But let's end off with this morning. When it comes to being equitable, dump out your perceptions and opinions and just see things as they are right then. Try to get the whole picture before you form an opinion, and treat everything and everyone with the same respect that you want to be treated with, and it will return. I'm Frederick Groth. Thank you for watching The More Factor. Let's be equitable this week. Talk to me down below in the comments and tell me, how are you going to be equitable this week? If something happens, share it with us. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow for our next character trait. Keep on keeping on.